Bon. Cette fois, on va essayer encore autre chose.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
On va essayer une autre chose.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
Je pourrais
left.
retourner jusqu'au générateur, appuyer sur on au lieu de off. On va essayer d'aller
This was not
prendre
the correct
l'ascenseur
way
qu'il y
to the
avait là-bas.
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
Et
just
soit
to
prendre la
admire it.
porte rouge, soit ne pas se jeter du
The
truc.
lounge was sublime, a work of art.
Attention, on va
But
essayer,
eager
on
to
va
get
essayer la
back
porte
to
rouge.
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ah non, c'est vrai qu'il y avait ça aussi. Pas envie.
Stanley was so
va
bad at
laisser
following
parler, on va
directions,
laisser
it's
parler,
incredible he
face à
wasn't
dessus.
fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
On est parti du mauvais pied.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Ah oui, il parlait d'une femme tout à l'heure. Alors, il n'y a rien, il n'y a pas d'autre possibilité.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Je peux faire ça.
As Stanley
je peux le
picked up the
faire.
phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance,
Je l'ai
but with
débranché.
hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible.
Oh, bordel.
Let me double-check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness," is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack.
On parle de l'importance des choix, mais bon, c'est un peu bizarre.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular
Quoi?
basis is the best part to a
Oh, j'aurais
healthy
pu faire une connerie.
decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8?
Prendre des
Less?
choix par jour, bah,
And
on en fait tous les
finally,
jours
if you
forcément.
begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts
Voilà.
and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Qu'est-ce qu'il va me faire faire? Putain, mais il délire complètement ce jeu. Je peux pas passer là? Remarquez. Ces grillages, ils y étaient pas tout à l'heure.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story.
Bordel.
That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse.
Right.
Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Je peux pas le reprendre. Qu'est-ce qu'il va me faire faire? Il m'a ramené au début, non? C'est quoi ça? Ah, c'est le salon.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Toujours pas.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Ouah, les idées sont dingues. Allez, vas-y, on va le faire bugger encore. Allez. Non, c'est tout. Allez. Oh, c'est dommage. Ça valait le coup de faire ça. Non, tant pis. Sérieux, tout ça pour revenir ici? Ah,
It's ruined.
non, d'accord.
I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now.
Tiens, la porte
And what
rouge.
am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
S'il me fait un
I
kit.
have to.
Oula. Ouais, il fait quoi là? Il veut me dire que le jeu est toujours planté.
Oh, up. I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Non, je suis pas un gars.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Toujours pas.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Quoi, tu... Ah non, c'est bon.
Is behave exactly as Stanley would.
Il va me
That
faire
means
faire une
choosing
boucle, le
responsibly
connard.
and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Bon, on va essayer une
When
dernière fois à
Stanley
droite,
came
si
to
ça
a
change
set
toujours
of 2
rien.
open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the
Si par
door on
contre il
his
faut
left.
réussir à faire toutes les fins possibles, vu qu'il y en a certaines qui passent par des boucles, ou j'imagine que tout à l'heure, ça se trouve c'est celle-là en plus, quand on passe par le salon bleu, il nous propose de prendre une porte à gauche, à mon avis elle mène là et elle ramène ici. Enfin,
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Donc, je peux pas descendre. Intéressant. Et je sais pas s'il y avait une fenêtre tout à l'heure, il y avait une porte là. Tiens, ils ont changé quelques trucs quand même. Et là c'était la salle de bain. Il y avait écrit. Dommage. On peut passer par là. Non? Je fais des trucs, non? Elle était rouge tout à l'heure, la pièce. Maintenant elle est verte.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human
Elle
life.
ressemblait pas à ça.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Je suis obligé. On va voir s'il va pas râler si je fais pas ça.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
on va le faire tourner on va
I'm
le faire
sorry,
tourner
is
un
there
peu.
a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
C'est ce que...
Stanley? Hello? Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
Ah
I
bon,
need
c'est
you
une
to
fin.
walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important.
Sérieux? Des crédits?
The story needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something.
Mais lol.
Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay, correct. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Bon, j'ai fait criser le jeu et j'ai eu des crédits de fin.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Et...
No, the orders were still
Ah bon,
missing.
d'accord.
For now.
Bon. Il dit d'autres choses.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Et si je fais rien cette fois-ci, il va me sortir le même discours, c'est pas normal et tout, ça va, tu fais quoi? Non? Bon, tant pis.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Celle-là, je pense qu'elle ramène à la salle de réunion, même si je me demande s'il n'y a pas un truc planqué dedans, genre cette lumière, vous voyez, qui s'allume. Il faudra que j'essaye une autre fois.
Stanley was so bad at following
D'accord,
directions,
je vais
it's
essayer de faire
incredible he
cette histoire
wasn't
de
5
porte
years
rouge.
ago.
Quoique je peux aussi décrocher le téléphone.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Bon, allez, le
I
téléphone.
realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's waiting. That's
Allez,
her,
décrochons.
Stanley.
Oui.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
Si je me casse. Non, je peux
Okay,
pas.
there
Je
we
peux pas
go.
me casser.
All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
What?
Come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit
That's
their life
so-
to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Et si je me casse?
Sorry, but
Oh.
you're in my story now.
Salaud. Va. Faut pas ouvrir une porte, non? Bon, voyons. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
J'ai appuyé sur Arte sur votre appareil. Non, je vais pas le faire. Oui, je peux même plus. Il faut des murs de partout. Elle est magnifique, ma femme. Bon, bah si, on va appuyer sur Arte, tant pis. Non, je peux appuyer sur un autre bouton. Bon, bah tant pis, on va appuyer sur Arte.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped
il
up
va
from his desk to
retransformer ça en
realize that
bureau.
all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and
Là, vous voyez, c'est en train de
destinations.
retransformer le.
Down one path lay an enormous round room
Deux zones
with
en
monitors
bureau.
and mind
Ça va
controls.
finir par supprimer
Down
cette
another
porte,
was a
on
yellow
recrée
line that
celle-là
lead
qui
in many
ramène dans le couloir.
directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more
C'est
time.
méta comme jeu, hein.
But there is no answer. How could there
Ah, vous
possibly
voyez,
be?
c'est en train de
In
redevenir le
reality, all
bureau.
he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he
Il est en train
forgets
de
which
faire
life
réfléchir
is the
sur le
real
fait
one.
d'être un jeu vidéo.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. but he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Ok. Au choix, t'appuies sur le bouton ou t'écoutes la voix, donc... Quand même les trucs qu'il y a écrits au niveau des boutons, là... Bah, il dit rien de plus. Bon,
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time you'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
J'ai pas appuyé sur le bouton par contre. Bon.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He
On va
never
essayer la
functioned
porte
well
rouge
by
cette fois, pour de
himself
bon.
and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the
Par contre, la
employee
question, vu
lounge
qu'il veut à
first,
tout prix qu'on
just
essaye
to
la porte
admire
rouge,
it.
qu'il nous la montre plusieurs fois, est-ce que si on la prend la
Stanley
première et la
felt
troisième fois, ça
lightheaded,
revient au même?
butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
J'ai pas regardé, ça se trouve les numéros c'est toujours les
Stanley
mêmes.
was so bad at following
De toute façon,
directions,
A,
it's
B, C,
incredible he wasn't fired years
c'est
ago.
aussi du foutage de gueule.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your
C'est
trust
moyen de
in someone
descendre
else
en bas,
can be
et
difficult,
là-bas,
but
il y a
the
un
fact is that the story has
truc
been
ouvert.
about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been
Ouais, faut
neglecting,
pas se rater.
Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Donc je me demande si je prends plusieurs fois la porte bleue et la porte rouge la dernière.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. You
c'est
see
bon.
that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running
Il va me
and
faire
running,
tourner en
just the
rond.
way you're doing right now.
Il me fait tourner en rond.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much
Ouais, c'est
happier
ça, c'est
if we
la
just
même couleur en bleu.
stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Vous croyez que c'est la même? Je pense que oui. Oh, d'accord.
What do we want? What are we looking
Est-ce que-
for?
Il y a des lumières, il y a ce truc là. Ah, bon, d'accord. Je peux pas reculer, bon bah, on va avancer, on va bien voir. Oula, par contre j'aime pas les couleurs. Non, c'est bon, c'est bon. Ouf. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
On fait, on regarde ou on s'en va? Je m'attends presque à voir des screamers dans ce jeu en fait. C'est ça qui est marrant et il n'y en a pas. Je suis sûr qu'il y a des séquences de jeu, faut rester 20 minutes sans bouger ou une connerie comme ça. Je vais pas le faire, j'en ai marre. Enfin j'en ai
No,
marre.
wait. Where are you going? Right. Where were we?
Bon, on va attendre 2 minutes. Allez. Merde, il y a tout qui est en train de s'éteindre. Non? Bon, effectivement, j'ai pas la patience pour l'instant.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Comment ça que je lui prends? Ah! D'accord. Salut!
No!
Oui!
Oh, thank God.
On va recommencer.
No, no, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm
C'est
asking you not to
horrible.
take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Allez! Coucou!
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Bon.
Is
Voilà.
it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.